Hi. We've been talking about generational curse breakers or generational wound warriors, right? The chosen ones, light workers. And I've been talking about, before we came in, we said we would do this. I wanted to take a minute and kind of back up and talk about what that means. Some people might not understand where we make that decision, right? And this is something I have to say, it's been so fascinating because I've done and conducted several past life regression sessions. I've done life between lives sessions, and also did between life hypnosis sessions for people. And then I get onto and I go down the rabbit hole, and some of you go there with me through the near death experience channel on here that really ties everything together. It's so amazing to me. But it all makes sense when you sit back and kind of look at it. Plus, even before that, in different types of work that I've done, the foundation has been before we incarnate, we make a decision on what we say we'll do in this physical realm. What's our path? What are we here to actually do? Some, right? We decide to be those generational curse breakers or generational wound warriors to help those that maybe aren't incarnating with us this time. But we said, you know what? We'll help you from that side because here's where we can do the healing. When you're on the other side, you really don't get to do the healing. There you're in a space where you are, where you have a job there too. You're being of service there, but it's not a space where you get to learn and grow. This place that we call Earth is where we get to learn and grow. But it doesn't mean that work can't be completed on their behalf. We just have to be open to do it or agree to do it before we incarnate. And here's my perception of how this works. And it's, uh, again, kind of been um, validated with different trainings as well as seeing what other people have said during their near death experience. As a soul, we get to kind of be in this space of um, school, kind of in between, but also helping as we are trying to grow and learn and progress as a soul. And one of the things that we get to do is we get to study, we get to learn, and we get to say, okay, this life, I think these are the things I want to work on. I've looked at my history. Now I want to go forward. And the soul, once you get that all together and you get the, okay, it's your turn to incarnate, you get to go to your council. And these are smart people. And you sit down with them and you go, okay, here's what I think I want to work on. And you have a, a chat about, is that the right path? Are there other things that you could be working on? Is there more that you could be doing? And once, they might send you back and go, more research, or they might go, yep, you're ready to go. But now what you need to do is you need to go and make agreements with all of those folks that are going to support your learning in this realm, in this life that you're choosing this time, this body. And that's where you kind of go, and I always envision it as this big auditorium where you get to go in, and you get to sit down, and you're looking out at everybody and you're going, okay, here's what I've got. I have this situation. I need somebody to play role A, role B, role C. People that you've probably gone back and forth and helped each other out for these learning situations. They stand up, raise their hand, do whatever, and say, yep, we're on it with you. Sign me up. I'm ready to go. You get all those folks put together, you get all the agreements written, contracts maybe. And then you go, okay, send me in, coach. I'm ready to go. And that's when you also then get to go, oh, wait, I've picked my parents out of this as well. I got to see who's going to be the best parents for what my plan is that I want to accomplish. And then you get to go in, right? Coach sends you in, you're born. However, the tricky part, right? And the part that I think we all really lament is that we don't get to remember what that is. That's part of being here is how fast can you hit the ground running? Are you working through things and it's taking you a long time in which to learn that lesson? Or, and to get that connection, right? Keep that connection to source, to God, to spirit, whatever label you want to put on it. How fast are you at that? And how many things are on your list of things to do for this lesson plan that you've created? You've got a lot to do, right? And the challenge is, the first thing is really figuring out, what did you agree to do? Sometimes you can get this, especially if you're younger. I have to say, I am so impressed, and kudos to everybody on the younger realm. You all are stepping up and doing it. I love, love, love seeing on all of the social platforms these younger and younger generations coming up and being so intuitive, being so in tune with their gifts. That is my indication some progress is being made, right? On an energetic level. However, there is that group that signed up to say, yes, I'm going to be a generational curse breaker or wound healer. And I'm part of that 144,000. Now, when I first heard that term, I was like, what's that mean? I'm not sure. I know it's a biblical term, but sometimes there's truth tucked into the Bible, woven through there. And the more I really sat with that intuitively, it feels so right that there are a group of 144,000 that did say, yes, I am stepping up to help heal past wounds so they don't have to continue forward, that we can really work on healing what's happening in the world, right? As it's being, as above, so below, or this is where we get to actually do some work beyond just ourselves and healing that past for the generations that have preceded us in this spiritual and physical realm. But what we didn't quite understand when we did that generational curse thing is that you are truly taking it on, and your life might feel really crazy and really hard. And you go, man, why is it so hard? And the thing is, you did sign up for it, and I signed up for it because we know it's needed. And we also are the warriors. We've been warriors in the physical sense and in the spiritual sense a long time. And we're here to be soldiers again, to help with changing lives moving forward. And I love to be able to do that. I don't like the harshness of it, because here's the other thing. We have sought out therapy, and I'm talking about myself and others who are generational war wound warriors or are chosen ones. Regular therapy doesn't work for us. It's not going to. It's finding the different ways or others who are leading the way to go, hey, I've got I've got some skills here. I've come by them with grit and determination because we've had to. We have had to create our own healing protocols because they just don't exist in Western therapy or even from a light worker perspective. It's at a whole different level. And so we also understood that too. When we incarnated, we understood the challenges of what we were up against. And we were given people in our lives to bring us forward, people in our lives to shine the light in that direction, right? The light workers, those that were maybe not chosen ones, but light workers. And light workers, just because they're not here to do generational trauma work, that does not negate the importance of what they're here to do, which is to guide others, to help others, and support them in their work as we heal, not only backwards, but forwards. And I know that's a hard thing to hear sometimes, is that we signed up for these tough things and we're frustrated with them and we just don't understand. But part of that is because we haven't had the right people to work with. And we've had to figure it out on our own. And sometimes it's right, that dark night of the soul. We just kind of want to be done, but we can't. That's why we're here. It's what we signed up to do. I know that we took on a lot, but I'm here to help others. That's what I feel called to do in a way that is especially generational code breakers or curse breakers. Maybe that wasn't a Freudian slip, but it is about breaking code. It is about breaking attachments to old ways, old wounds, maybe even old energies. But it's figuring out how to do it. And it's a completely different, it's a different can of worms from just going to regular therapy. And that's why I created the Wound Warrior Bootcamp, to help others through that and to really focus on how to work on the generational things from a generational wound warrior role, because it just didn't exist. I've been blessed with working with others on the path, and to see them excel into this has been amazing. And if you'd like to talk about that more, please reach out to me, go to my website. It's in the comment section, or just send a comment. I would love to help you out with this, but otherwise, I hope this gives you some insight, knowledge, education for you to have more compassion with yourself. And that's the whole thing, is we have to be compassionate with ourselves when we're working through the life plan that we created. So blessings. Hope everyone is well and on their path. Have a great day.